Okay, so today's Thursday the 14th. Last night I put everything together, and you'll notice that I don't have the fenders on yet, and that's because I want to be able to see all the mechanics as things progress, and when I pull start I want to make sure that everything's good. It's a good thing I did that because this fuel line, the valve, was leaking. So I put a gallon of gas in there and she started dribbling gas out, and I don't know who the hell worked on this thing before I did, but didn't have a good seal there. Those O-rings weren't seated properly. So I took some Marine Tex. That's good for fuel lines and all kinds of stuff. You mix up 5-to-1 ratio, and took that little wire there and gingerly went around the O-rings to make sure that I didn't mess them O-rings up, and sealed that off. That's got to sit for a while, and yeah, I know that's a permanent connection and all that, and if that valve goes bad I'm going to have a hell of a time and all that, but it's mine, so I can do that kind of stuff so long as it holds gas and I don't have any issues. Maybe that problem was the fact that I had to weld that line on the inside of that edge there, and didn't get a perfect seal, but those O-rings should have covered me on that. Net, it's moving along. If you'll notice, I left it out, and it rained a little bit last night, and that high temp paint doesn't seem to be doing too well as far as oxides. I had sandblasted this pipe off and all that, but doesn't seem very impervious to keeping the humidity and rain off. No big deal. It dusts off okay, but whatever. I'm over it. Alright, my next challenge is going to be this hole right here. Some ding-dong, instead of doing it right, just took a drill in from an angle and drilled a hole out, and then took a big ass, see if I can see that screw there, right there. Just threaded that booger in, and funny thing was there wasn't even a guard on it. There's no guard, so I'm gonna have to make up that guard out of that piece of steel sitting there. I'll bend that up and make me a guard. Yeah, I could buy one, okay, but this is mine, and again, I'm over it. I just need a guard to make sure that that belt doesn't get choked up with weeds. So I'm gonna have to take my die grinder now, and I'm gonna clean that hole out, and then I'm going to tack in, or maybe even just use JB Weld and put a nut in of the right size. I think that's an M8 or an M6. I'll go check the spec on it. Put a wing nut bolt on there, or a thumb bolt, whatever the hell you call it, and that'll get me going on that. Tires are on it. That went on okay. I got to return the nuts that I bought yesterday because they were the wrong pitch, so I got to keep in mind the pitch of them nuts, but everything's good. Put new cotter pins in and all that stuff. Coming along well. Bye. Well, while I'm letting that Marine Tex dry to fix that slight fuel leak I've got, going through the wiring on the lights and fixing some of the engineering marvels that this person had put into place. They had this, for some reason, this wire, which is the factory wire, was replaced with this thin black wire that they routed up overhead, and I should have left it in place because it was a laugh. It was twisted with that piece of medical tape. So I'm going to go through the wiring and get that straight, you know, silver solder that stuff together and shrink tube it and do it right. Anyway, just more fun stuff on the Odyssey. Bye. Well, I don't know if you're like me, but I think the hardware store loves me. I swore in that menagerie of junk I had some shrink tube. Can't find it for the life of me. You know, too many projects going, too many places in the house. Didn't have any cable ties. I thought a little bit in there, but you know, had these downstairs in the basement. Just got to get organized. Needed some Ziploc bags. Those were hiding down in the basement, so put them away. Yeah, okay, that's a mess. Anyway, yeah, it's a pigsty. I know it. It takes so much energy to be organized. I don't know how those people that are organized get their crap done. It drives me crazy having to be that organized, I think. So that wire's good. It's the brown wire that goes up per that diagram there, and connects up right here. Again, I guess people that don't have voltmeters and soldering irons and shrink tube and stuff shouldn't mess around with electrical on a device, but I guess if they're going to keep it for themselves, somebody will poo-poo me about some of the crap I've done on mine, I guess, so shouldn't make fun of anybody. Next job, I'll be getting that, I just cleaned that ground off. This wasn't working either. This connector from here to here, which is the ground, wasn't making contact, so I cleaned all that off so that I'm going to get a good ground. Next fun thing is somebody had sheared that bolt off, so I got to take some little vice grips and hopefully get that off from the inside, otherwise I'll have to go get me an easy out or something. But I really want this thing to be done right as much as possible. Keep moving forward. Thursday the 14th, just before 1 o'clock. I got her started. She'll start up okay, but in runs took me about 12 pulls because there was absolutely no fuel in any of those lines there, and so I put some more gas in it because I'd only had a half gallon of gas, and even putting it on the reserve side I was seeing bubbles going there and she wasn't getting up. So now the problem I ran into, and you notice I got my fire extinguisher here, is I'm revving it up and watching her run for a little while, and I got gas coming out of the bottom of the crankcase. Now, according to the documentation that I've got, and I'm going to check this with one of my brothers, I've got the fuel filter here goes up into the fuel pump. This goes up into that T connector and goes off to the carburetor, which that seems to be going fine. But this side down here says it, again, unless I'm reading something wrong, goes down into the crank. So I'm going to have to take a look at that because something just don't smell right about that. Anyway, she's going okay. I just got to do that, fix that problem, and it's kind of silly because yeah, you don't need that gas going into your crank like that. I would see just a little bit of residual go down in there for oiling purposes, but it shouldn't be dribbling out of there like that. So anyway, I guess I could start it up and show you that she does run, but yeah, I'm a fool, I know. Like I said, that's definitely not a good thing. Let me get this container underneath there to get that gas, because I hate wasting gas like that, and I don't like contaminating the environment either. That's bad. Alrighty, she's coming along just fine. Always little unexpected things. Got the lights hooked up. Got that bolt out of there. Unfortunately, that bottom center one of those three, I ended up having to drill through and put my M6 with a nut on the back of it, so that'll cause me a problem if I gotta maintain that out in the field, because then you gotta worry about dropping that stupid nut. But put some JB weld on the back of it or something and have that nut stay on the back. It's just anyway, coming along. Bye.